Silver! Away! A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. The men who drove the stagecoaches in the early days of the western United States were faced by many dangers. The rough country made perfect cover for road agents, and holdups were an everyday occurrence. It was not until the masked rider of the plains started his great fight for law and order that travel became safe. It was he, more than any other man, who blazed the trail for progress and made possible the winning of the West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! We're heading for Newfield. Paddle's waiting for us. Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
Brady and Hawkins shared a room on the first floor of the hotel at Grant's Pass. Brady studied a letter by the light of an oil lamp and then raised his eyes to Hawkins.
I tell you, Hawkins, it'll be the biggest sensation of the year. I can just see all the smart Alecks around here when the stage don't come in.
Me too, Brady, if the plans go through as we want them to.
What can go wrong? Everything's working out to the last detail. Yeah, I hate to miss being here in Grant's Pass. They'll wait for the stage and it won't show up. Then they'll send scouts out hunting for it.
Yeah. They'll ride east along the trail and won't find no sign of it. Then when they get to Newfield, they find that the stage left there heading west right according to schedule.
They won't find no tracks. They won't find no stage.
Not a thing.
It'll be the biggest mystery this stretch of country's ever known. That's what it'll be.
Let me see that letter from Sam Selden again, Brady.
Here it is. He tells us that he's got the tunnel all fixed in the hill. Everything's set at his end. All we got to do is take the stage there. Then we make that stage, the horses, the guard, and the driver just disappear.
Not so loud, Brady.
Oh, shucks, I ain't talking loud.
These walls ain't no thicker than paper. I wouldn't trust no one around here.
Well, there ain't no one around here anyhow.
Don't forget the clerk in the office. He's a sneaky-looking critter. I wouldn't put nothing past him.
Well, anyhow, we start out first thing in the morning to meet the stage. Now,
Hold on.
Huh?
Quiet. I thought I heard something outside.
I didn't hear nothing.
It might be a good idea to close the window anyhow.
Hawkins.
The lamp is shut out. Get a light.
Hey, there's some in the room with us.
Brady, where are you?
Get him.
Stand where you are. Stand still or I'll let you have it. Stand still, I say. Where are you, Brady? Can you strike a match?
I'm trying.
Get a lamp in here. Get a lamp of some sort.
What was the shooting here?
Look around, Claney. See if there's a sign of a critter riding away from here.
Mr. Brady's hurt.
I'm all right, Clint.
I brought a lamp along with me. The hall ain't lighted. Who shot that one up like that? Someone's got to pay for this damage.
You ain't nothing but the clerk, Claney. You don't need to worry about that lamp. I want to find out who come here and why. Brady, look, there on the table. There where the letter from Sam Selden was. The letter's gone, but look what's there.
A bullet. Who left that cartridge there like that?
Bullet? What'd you say about a letter? Was there something stolen from you, Mr. Hawkins?
Ain't none of your affair, clerk. You get back to the office where you belong.
But
Go on now, leave us be. We'll handle our own affairs. We can...
Hawkins, this bullet, look. Look at it.
What's there about the bullet?
It's silver.
Silver?
Yes. I've seen a bullet like this before. Man, there's something big going on here.
What do you know about a silver bullet, Claney?
Mr. Hawkins, that there bullet is the calling card of the Lone Ranger.
That's what I was afeard of.
The Lone Ranger? What's he doing around here?
I don't know. Don't you gents know?
How should we?
Let me close this door. There's a few things I want to speak to you gents about. There. Now I'll put this lamp down.
Claney, we just at least be left alone if you don't mind.
Take a chair, won't you, Mr. Hawkins? Got a few things to say. You men said there was a letter stolen from you.
It ain't important.
Brady, are you sure of that?
Why shouldn't I be sure? I know what the letter was, don't I?
Maybe you're lying about the importance of it.
Clerk, you get out of
Not
here.
so fast, Hawkins. There's no use in you two trying to pull the wool over my eyes.
If you've got something to say, Claney, go ahead and say it.
I have. Hawkins, you and Brady are pretty well known around Amarillo. You don't remember me, but I remember the two of you. As a matter of fact, if you go back there, the law is going to want to ask you a few questions about some stage holdups.
Well, what about him? We never was near Amarillo.
No use, Brady. I worked in a hotel there a couple years ago.
Go on, Claney, say it. What are you getting at?
I knew the Lone Ranger around that part of the country, too.
You know him?
You lie. Nobody knows the Lone Ranger.
I knew him as well as any man. I seen a silver bullet just like this one that he left in the hotel there once. You know why he left that silver bullet?
Go on, tell us.
Because he learned of a couple of crooks who was planning to stick the stagecoach up. They had the plans on a piece of paper, sort of a map that they drawed.
So the Lone Ranger put the bullet in place of the paper and made off with the paper, is that it?
The same as he'd done right here.
Well,
Well, you boys needn't be afraid I'll squeal on you. I always say every man should mind his own business. Live and let live, that's the way I feel. Ain't none of my affair what you boys do. Let the sheriff worry about it. If I'm to worry about what you do against the law, then I'll be the sheriff.
Claney, you're wasting time that we could put to better purpose than listening to you.
I got doubts about that, Hawkins. Before I get done, you'll be glad you listened to me.
Be quiet, Hawkins. Let the clerk go on.
Well, now, it seems that you two were figuring on doing something to the stage. How about it?
None of your business.
All right. None of my business. Fact is, though, there was a letter taken from you, wasn't there?
You already said that.
This here bullet tells the Lone Ranger got that letter, don't it? Well, boys, maybe I can find the Lone Ranger and get the letter back for you.
It wouldn't do no good if he's read it.
Maybe I can fix the Lone Ranger so he can't do nothing about interfering with your plans even if he has read it. I'll be in the office, boys. I'm open to a proposition.
Claney,
Well?
you just made a remark about fixing a Lone Ranger so he couldn't interfere with us.
I'd better close the door.
Are you just shooting off your mouth, or did you mean that?
Hawkins, I'm going to my office. You two talk it over. If you come to an understanding, I'll be there, ready to talk to you.
Hawkins, I don't like that polecat.
Neither do I, Brady. He's a double-crossing coyote. I never seen a man that looked like him that wouldn't double-cross his best friend.
Yeah, but what are we going to do about it?
Well, the letter we had told her plenty.
If the Lone Ranger's got that letter, he'll sure be able to interfere with our plans.
Stage has a heap of folding money on board.
I know it. It's coming from the banks in the east. We figured on having enough cash from this job to put us in clover for the rest of our lives.
What do you think we better do?
Well, if the Lone Ranger interferes, it'll mean we'll get nothing.
That's how I look at it.
If we whack up the loot 4 ways instead of 3, we'll still get a sizable amount.
Including the clerk for an equal divvy? Is that what you got in mind?
Yeah, I don't know as he'd settle for anything less.
Come on.
Where you going?
We'll go talk to Claney. There ain't no way out of it that I can see.
The next afternoon, the stage left Newfield on schedule, but just before it started, the guard was replaced by a man whom the driver had never seen before.
I didn't take the time to go into much detail with you, mister. All I know is you had first-rate credentials to take over the job of guarding this here stage.
Driver, have you ever had trouble on this run?
No, hating no outlaws never bothered us. Come along there. Come along, you lazy good-for-nothing galoots.
You were told to be especially careful on this trip, though, weren't you?
Oh, sure. I know we got a payload this time.
I'm going to give you instructions that may be hard to understand.
Meaning what?
Don't try to fight it out with anyone who might try to stop us.
No. Say, mister, what manner of guard are you?
The note I gave you said that you were to take instructions from me.
Well, the other guard would have shot it out with a whole army to get the load through.
He isn't guarding this load. I am.
But, drat it, don't you...
Look up ahead there.
I see it. A tree's been dropped right across the trail. If it wasn't for these here mountains, we'd go around it, but
we
can't.
can't go around it, so stop here.
Here?
Right here, driver.
I'm hanged if I
And
will.
I'll stop the horses for you.
Wait.
Whoa there! Whoa, boy, whoa! Come on, driver. You're going with me.
Let me go.
Hurry. I'm hitched to lead horses. We're getting away from here and heading into the hills.
And leaving the stage?
Yes.
Well, I'm agin it. I tell you, guard, I'm agin this. We're showing yellow. We're running out. We're turning tail.
You're taking orders. That's all you have to do.
Oh, but I
Get
tell
on
you
that horse and ride with me.
Thunderation.
Come on. That tree was put on the trail to give crooks a chance to shoot you. Ready?
Well, ready as I ever will be. But I'd still like to draw a bead on the crooks and swap lead.
Get up! Get up!
Get up there. Come on. Get up there.
That beats all I ever heard of, Hawkins.
Well, they lift right out. Look, you can see him heading off yonder in the hills.
The garden driver. Well, that is good, eh?
Get your horses in the lead. We'll take the stage where we planned in the first place.
Yeah, right. Steady there. Easy, boy. That's it.
Looks like that hotel clerk kept his word all right.
Yeah, we ain't seen nothing of the Lone Ranger.
If Claney manages to kill the Lone Ranger, it's going to be the
Great
biggest news.
sakes alive, Hawkins, with the stagecoach disappearing and the Lone Ranger being killed, Grant's Pass will just about be the biggest news in the whole world.
Yeah, never mind that. Them horses in the line?
Yeah, sure.
Climb aboard, then.
All right. Hey, you want to drive or should I?
I'll take the reins. You keep watch in case we see anything of that other garden driver.
Yeah, the last I seen them, they was heading into the hills. They're a long way off by this time.
There they are, still riding away from here.
You going to turn around?
That's easier than moving that tree we dropped in the trail. We got to go the other way anyway.
Hey, let me look behind us first.
Oh, what?
Well, first we want to make sure the ground here's so hard-packed it don't take tracks.
I looked at that. Tracks won't show.
You know, I'd like to be in Grant's Pass when the stage don't show up.
Yeah, there's only one thing I don't like about this.
Hey, what's that, Hawkins?
That garden driver kiting away from here.
Well, it saved us having a shooting match with him.
I didn't figure them to do that. I thought we'd have to shoot him.
What's the odds?
I don't know. I just got an uneasy feeling about it. You don't reckon that clerk squealed, do you?
Shucks, no.
Get up there! Get on! Come on, get on!
Plain he wouldn't squeal. He's got as much cash to get out of this deal as we have.
That garden driver will be able to tell about the tree being on the trail.
Oh, what's the odds? The men that start hunting the stage will see where it's been cut down anyhow. They'd know the stage got that far.
I reckon so.
Yeah, they won't know how far it went back before it disappeared, though.
Well, anyhow, this is one stage that ain't going to be seen no more. We'll soon have our hands on all the cash we can spend. Get up there!
The following day, the sheriff made an announcement to the people of Grant's Pass.
Folks, what I got to say ain't going to be easy to believe.
What is it, Sheriff? What's the news about the stage?
Did the boys bring back a report from Newfield? Yep, they rid all the way to Newfield and found the stage had left there just as she was planning to do. There was a new guard got on board at Newfield. The boys talked to the old guard. He said he was replaced by a stranger. Now, quiet down, gents, so I can finish telling you what I got to tell. There ain't no sign of a stage any place between here and Newfield. It just disappeared into thin air. No tracks or nothing. Not even a sign of the horses. It's the doggonedest mystery I ever heard of.
What are you going to do about it, Sheriff? You've got to find that stage.
You can't let her just disappear without doing something.
How about a posse?
I know. Quiet down now, will you?
I'll sign up for a posse.
A posse ain't so good. I tell you, there ain't nothing to start looking for. There ain't a lead of any sort to follow down.
Sheriff! That's Claney from the hotel.
What's the matter, Claney?
Sheriff, I got news. Something awful's happened over in my hotel.
Your hotel? You mean the hotel you work
Well,
in?
the same thing. But, Sheriff, come fast. He's in a room on the first floor.
Who's in a room on the first floor?
The dead man.
What dead man? What dead man are you talking about?
Who's dead?
What killed him?
Who is it, Claney?
Wait till you hear. Folks, listen to me. Boys, in the first floor hotel room, I found the Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger?
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue our story. While the sheriff was announcing the disappearance of the stagecoach, Claney rushed up with the news that the Lone Ranger was dead.
Right over here, Sheriff.
I know where the hotel is. Go on, I'm right behind you.
We're all right behind you, Claney.
It's the last room on the first floor. I ain't touched nothing, Sheriff.
Good thing.
I figured you'd want to look around, officially, before anything was touched.
When did you find him dead?
This morning.
When did he come in?
Last night, late. Well, all right now. Don't everyone try to crowd into this room.
Claney's right. All of you keep back.
I'll open the door now. There you...
Well, where is the dead man, Claney?
Well, I don't know. He was here.
Where?
Well, right there on the bed.
Don't see no sign of him now.
But he was here. I seen him.
How'd you know he was dead?
Well, he was. I examined him and made sure of it.
Don't look to me like there's been any murder done in this room.
You sure you ain't been seeing things, Claney?
Wait.
Sheriff's got something.
Claney, you were right about one thing.
Huh?
The Lone Ranger was here. Look.
A silver bullet.
The sheriff was unable to find the slightest trace of the missing stagecoach, the guard, or the driver. But 2 days later, an Indian entered the lawman's office.
Well, what do you want, Redskin?
You know what fella named Claney tell people?
What?
Him say Lone Ranger dead.
Well, what about it?
You come with Tonto.
Tonto, is that your name?
That right.
For what? Where do you want me to go?
You come. Me show you masked man.
What? Do you mean to say you know where he is?
That right.
Where?
It not near here. Plenty long way. You ride horse.
Redskin, you talk like you knew what you was talking about.
That right.
I'm going to take you up. I'll get a posse right away.
Hawkins, Brady, and the hotel clerk Claney rode with the posse as they followed Tonto along the stage trail and into the hills for several miles.
Can't explain it, Hawkins, so don't ask me to.
Claney, if you try to double-cross on us,
No, honest, he ain't. That redskin, though.
That redskin's name is Tonto. You know who he is?
Well, who?
The friend of the Lone Ranger.
I thought you knew so much about the Lone
Oh,
Ranger.
yeah, sure. That's Tonto, the friend of the Lone Ranger.
Claney, you look doggone nervous. I should think you'd be glad to be riding out to find the Lone Ranger dead.
Yeah, sure.
That's a pretty thin story you try to tell us.
Well, it was the truth, wasn't it?
You told us that you'd fixed the Lone Ranger in one of the rooms in the hotel there. Then when the sheriff come to find him, he was gone.
Dead men don't walk away, Claney.
Well, I tell you, he was there. I don't know how he got away. Maybe Tonto moved him. That's all I know about it.
You didn't seem none too anxious to ride with us on this trip either, Claney.
Sure I was.
We ain't giving you no share of the cash until we find out if you done your part.
I've done it. You'll find out. You wait and see.
We're waiting.
And we're counting on seeing.
Look, gents, I ain't used to long rides.
You'd better get used to them then.
Well, I'm feeling sick. You mind if I go back?
We do mind.
You're going to come along with us, Claney.
The redskin says it's just ahead, boys.
All right, come on, get up there.
Get up
Get
there.
up. Go.
There, Claney, you see, we're almost there now. So you don't need to turn back.
Good. I'm glad we're almost there.
Is that the place, Tonto? That house there?
That's right. You go inside. You find fella there.
The Lone Ranger?
You find fella there who wear mask.
Come on, let's go see what the sheriff's going to find.
Come on, Claney. Ain't you curious?
Well, sure thing.
I know this here cabin. This is the place that old Brannigan built a long time ago.
That's right. Him not here for a long time.
No, he left this part of the country.
Who used cabin last? You know?
No. It's been used by hunters around here, though. They come and go.
Look over yonder.
The masked man.
So you did do it after all, Claney.
Yeah, sure did, just like I told you.
But you don't know how he got here.
No, I ain't got no idea how he got here.
Jiminy crickets. It ain't possible. It just ain't possible. That's all there is to it.
The Lone Ranger. Take the mask off.
Yeah? Reckon I'd better. Though I sure as thunder hate to do it. What's the matter with you galoots? Take your hats off. Hey, Claney, where are you and Hawkins and Brady going?
Oh, wait, we're just going outside. We'll be back.
Now for the mask. Doggone. This man's been known around as Jackson. He was an official with the Stagecoach Company.
He was?
Sure. He come to town a few days ago telling me about the load of cash money that was coming through. He was making arrangements to guard it when it got here. To think that he was the Lone Ranger.
He was not the Lone Ranger.
Here, real Lone Ranger.
I'll tell you who killed Jackson. I'll tell you who stole the stagecoach.
And where the stage is now?
Yes, and the gold as well.
And the driver.
The driver will be in town when you get back. He will verify what I tell you.
Speak up, then.
I had to wait until I had all the facts and had them clearly worked out. Jackson and I were friends. He gave me a letter and told me that he knew of a plan to rob the stage. He asked me to replace the guard, which I did.
Yeah?
Jackson also thought the hotel clerk was a friend of his. He trusted him when he stopped in the hotel. He told the clerk his suspicions. That clerk was a crook.
You mean, Claney is a crook?
Yes. I once warned Claney in the last town he worked. I sent him a silver bullet as a warning, and he left town. Well, he used that bullet when he came here.
Oh.
He murdered Jackson. And he made the stage robbers think I was on their trail by leaving his silver bullet after he had smashed the light. He came into their room and told them he would get me out of the way. And he put Jackson's body, which had been hidden until then, into one of the hotel rooms, where he could show it to you.
But Jackson wasn't at the hotel.
No, Tonto had been helping me. Before you went to the hotel with Claney, we brought poor Jackson here.
But what'd you do that?
So the men Claney was working with would come to see it.
Where are they now? Where's Claney?
He's gone, and his crooked partner's with him. Come with me.
Come on, boys. Follow the Lone Ranger. Come on,
Brady, I feel we're being trailed.
Just your nerves, Claney.
How much farther are we going?
That rocky hill dead ahead.
For what?
To finish our business. There's a cave there.
Oh, I see.
We'll go right in. Come on.
Get up there, boy.
Get up
Come
there.
on.
Get up.
Well, here we are.
You're paying me off now, ain't you?
That's why you were brought here.
Where's the stagecoach?
That's...
What's the matter?
Thought I heard something outside.
I've felt all along that we're being followed.
I'll take a look.
I started to tell you, Claney, that the stage is right here in the cave with us.
I don't see it.
And neither would the law if they try to prove anything.
I couldn't see anyone outside.
Never mind, then.
You're telling Claney about the stage?
Yeah. We drove it in here and went as far as we could back in the cave with it. And we unhitched the horses, and our pal has taken them south to sell. He knows a lot about handling blasting powder, so that's what he done.
What?
Blasted the inside of the cave here, so it caved in on the stage. You see, the cave ain't more than 25 or 30 feet deep now. It used to be 3 times that deep. All of the back was blowed down.
And the stage was buried.
Lucky for the guard and driver they wasn't buried with it.
Now, here's your share of the cash. That cleans things up, don't it?
Yeah.
Now, wait.
What?
One thing that I don't savvy.
What's the matter?
You took the sheriff to the hotel to see the body of the Lone Ranger.
Well, what about it?
The body had been moved. There was another one of those silver bullets there.
Oh. Well,
How do you explain that, Claney?
I figure it must have been the Indian. Remember him?
You think he moved the body?
Yes, he must have moved it and left the silver bullet. Now, give me the cash and let me get away from here.
All right. Here you are.
We'll take that.
What?
Hawkins, the masked man.
Got your hands up.
Jack, meet the real Lone Ranger.
No. He's an impostor.
I'll show you.
Oh, my hand. My hand's hit.
Don't go for a gun, Brady. You'll get the same as Hawkins did.
If you want to be sure he's the real Lone Ranger, Hawkins, look at the bullet that hit your gun.
He's the real one. No one else could draw and shoot like that.
You can take the cash, Sheriff. It seems to be all together there.
Claney, you double-crossing lying crook. You told us you'd kill the Lone Ranger.
That's about what we need, Hawkins. You sure he told you that?
He did.
That'll be important evidence at his trial for the murder of Sam Jackson.
Now, hold on, Sheriff. Don't you do things you're going to be sorry for.
Like what?
Arresting me and Hawkins without evidence. We know all right. You got no proof.
No, nothing except all that cash.
It was given to us. The man that robbed the stage has gone away with the horses.
Too thin, Brady. You crooks thought you'd be safe if you put the stage where it couldn't be located. Well, you forgot that there might be someone watching to see where it was moved to. That was the case.
Me show stage now.
That redskin was on hand while you two was out of here.
Go ahead, Tonto. Light the fuses.
Tonto knows a thing or two about the use of blasting powder. Now, come on, everyone, out of here. The fuses are lighted. We'll just see if we can't get part of the stage in the same way it was buried.
I'll get square with you for this, Claney, if it's the last thing I do.
Save your wind, Hawkins. The law will handle things.
It might help you to understand, Hawkins, if I tell you that Claney murdered Jackson. And then to account for a dead man's body, he started all those stories about me. He thought if it could be believed that the dead man was the Lone Ranger, he would never be suspected. Otherwise, it would be a complete investigation, and he might become involved.
What about that blast?
The fuses were long.
Claney, was it you that stole that paper from us in the first place, making us think it was the Lone Ranger?
Yes, you may as well know it.
There she goes.
Let's go and see if the stage is in sight now.
Come on.
The smoke's thick. You can't stay in here long.
We don't need to. There's the back wheel of the stagecoach. It's there, Sheriff.
Good. That makes the evidence complete. Take the prisoners to town, boys.
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger, Incorporated.
You've been listening to the OTR Gold Network. Find more classic radio at otrgold.com. stagecoach.com.